So on this spot, on my front landing, there is a giant spider. And every night he builds a brilliant spider web. But the next morning, it disappears. And then that night, it is rebuilt. We're going to follow the plight of that spider this month. And that is our introduction to Labor Day. Hello friends and neighbors, it is day 5 of VEDS, Labor Day. And since Labor Day is what kicked off the Favorite Movies Review series, it seems only fitting to do a Favorite Movies Review.
Remember,
you're a wizard.
On second thought, let's not have camera.
Still princesses.
Time travel, as you wish.
Everyone has their own story, and it's important for you to tell your own story, even to yourself. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to write every day in these journals. You can write about whatever you want. The past, the present, the future. You can write it like a diary, or you can write songs, poems, any good thing, bad thing, anything.
A while back I did a list of my top 10 favorite movies, and this was number 7 on that list. Freedom Writers, in my opinion, is one of the best teachers can change the lives of their students type movie that exists. Now there are a lot of these types of movies out there. There's Music of the Heart, Take the Lead, Mona Lisa's Smile, and many of them are also on the favorites list, but this is my favorite and in my opinion, the best. This is the story of Erin Gruwell, an English teacher who gets a job teaching freshman and sophomore English at an integrated school called Woodrow Wilson High School. She's taking these at-risk students, a bunch of kids who are forced to come to school but really don't want to be there, and everyone tells her that all she really has to do is babysit and just help them to obey at the very least, and if she puts in her time, then she'll get better kids in the future. But Erin continues to insist that this is where she wants to be. This is where she wants to be teaching. These are the kids that she wants to be teaching. And gradually, she does help her students. She earns their respect and she starts to change their lives. And all she really does is give them an opportunity to tell their stories, and she actually listens to what they have to say. She shows them that she believes that they are worth the time and the trouble that she is putting into teaching, and because of that, she earns their respect. And she obviously faces a lot of adversity, from jealous co-workers to an unsupportive head of department, played brilliantly by Imelda Staunton.
I really hate children.
To a disapproving father, and even her own husband, who just doesn't understand why she's putting so much work into these kids. And yet she continues to persevere, and one of the things that I really like about this movie is how her passion in pushing her students is transferred throughout the movie to the students' passion then pushing her. And obviously this isn't just about education. There's a lot of commentary about race relations and gang violence and a lot of the stuff that was happening in the mid to late 90s. These kids start out hating each other, and by the end of the movie they become something of a family. And through their stories we can start to see some of the healing taking place in their lives. At the end of the movie we see the kids putting together a book of all of their diary entries from the last 2 years called The Freedom Writer's Diary. And I think that's what makes this movie so great for me. It's based on a real life story, and more than that, it's told in the words of the kids that lived it. And the movie doesn't skimp on any of these stories. There are a lot of stories to tell, but the movie tells all of them, and it tells them all really faithfully and really effectively. And we get to see the growth of all of these kids as well as the teacher who is teaching them. And I could blather on and on about this movie, but it's just best if you go see it yourself, especially if you're going into the field of education. But really, everybody should watch this movie. It's one of my ultimate recommendations for movies, and that's about all I have to say about it. Go see it. And that's about it for this Labor Day Favorite Movies Review. Until next time, happy viewing.